I'm here with Nick Dahl, General Manager of House of Color, and we are at Sema introducing, of course, the Shimrin 2 line. Nick, tell me about Shimrin 2.
All right. Well, Shimrin 2 is actually what it's going to do is take custom painting into the future. What's happened with custom painting in the past was the VOC restrictions in California with the waterborne coming up. And House of Color was obviously a solvent-based custom line for the true custom painter, but it didn't meet the stringent VOC rules in California. So about 3 years ago, we sat down at the table with all of our R&D people and our technical departments, and we developed the Shimrin 2. The Shimrin 2 was born at the bench to be a solvent-based VOC coast-to-coast compatible system. A lot of the colors that you'll see as we scan around the area here in our booth, we'll spray it under 1.5 pounds per gallon, where waterborne is 3.5. So obviously we're setting the trend for the future, and we're going to be the trendsetters once again with a solvent-based coast-to-coast compliant system.
When was Shimrin 2 launched officially?
Shimrin 2 was launched officially this summer, in fact, and our goal right now is getting the color tools out there, and that's one thing we're going to talk about is some of the prototypes of the color tools that we're going to be releasing to the industry in the early spring. We're expecting to have these hit the market anytime around February, March area, so we'll hit that early season and we'll have color tools all the way through the summer.
Show us what you've got.
We have our first item is going to be something that's going to be very, very popular for the weekend warriors, the do-it-yourselfers. It's going to be a custom, I call it the pocket guide. There's going to be 325 colors in this book. Obviously, there's no chips in here yet, but it's a prototype. This will sell to the customer for under $40. And this will be a series. This is going to be volume 1, and we'll have additional volumes. We'll have maybe a book on candy base coats. We'll have a book on custom creators, where a lot of the artists from the industry take our Shimrin 2s and make fantastic new colors. And they get to submit them and have their name stamped on them, and they'll end up in a custom creator book. So this will be a very low-cost, entry-level Shimrin 2 color map. The best color tool we're going to have is the color box. And why this is so popular and why it's going to be such a great tool is it's not going to be a color book like this pocket guide. It's going to be a color tool. So we're going to have roughly 1,000 new Shimrin 2 base coat colors that are going to be laid out in various decks by color family. And when I say this is going to be a color tool, we can actually, let's say we want to start out, say we like this purple here. There's a fine patina in it. It looks all right, but we want to make that bling a little bit. We're going to go to our effect deck, and we have all the different effects sprayed out. And we can take like a pale gold Metajewel, lay it over that, and now you see what the color would be like with that effect. The next thing we can do is if we want to put a candy over that, we can go to our candy deck, and let's say we want to have a kind of a violet over that. So basically what you're doing is you're building a custom paint job by not spending a lot of time and a lot of effort and wasting a lot of paint. You come right to your master tool, your master color box, and you're building any color you want. We're going to actually have over 80 KKs or candy colors, and what that'll be is the primaries, including our new Voodoo Violet KK22 and UK22. And so we're going to have about 20, and the other 60 are going to be a combination of candies. So this one here might be, KK11 and KK12 1-to-1. So we're going to take a lot of our existing candies and create even more color spaces for the customer.
Well, I heard this was groundbreaking, but now I realize that you can really create any color, thousands upon thousands of colors. I mean, there's no limit to it, is there?
You just sold me.
Finally, Nick. Been trying to sell Nick for a long time. Thanks. Bingo, I hit bingo here. But anyway, when will this box be available?
Both the big box and the pocket guides, we're looking at probably February, March, late February, March.
Now, this box is like the ultimate tool, color tool. How much will this sell for?
This is going to be right around $400, give or take 50.
Well, rumor has it it's costing you more to make it.
It is costing me a lot to make it. but without this, we're not selling paint. So this is what's going to drive our sales.
This is really amazing. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, does this pretty much complete the Shimrin 2, tool set?
This will complete the Shimrin 2 from a standpoint of color documentation, but to keep House of Color on the map and to be the rising stars of the custom industry, we're going to continue to spend a lot of our resources in R&D and development and come out with new coating technologies. We have about 5 new coating technologies on the plate right now that we're looking at unveiling next spring. So we're going to constantly develop new products with the custom painter in mind.
Now, I know that your efforts to launch this line were exhaustive. Has it slowed down for you at all?
It's slowed down for me personally because the team that we've built, we have a fantastic team at House of Color. We got Mike Taylor on the West Coast, a market manager. Mike Taylor's hiding over there. Say hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. We got Mike Taylor on the West Coast. We got Bill Bolton on the East Coast. We got Jeff Eddington taking care of all our technical and all of our shows and all of our special events. So I've surrounded myself with a good team. We got a strong partner with Valspar, and John Kosmowski obviously is still by our side promoting and doing clinics and helping us develop Shimrin 2s and develop new products. So we got a very, very strong team, and we got a very bright future.
Now, where can people learn how to use, especially existing painters, how to use Shimrin 2? Where do they go?
Well, what we've been doing for basically this whole summer, we've been training our customers and doing wet clinics. We've had John Kosmowski travel the U.S. Doing wet clinics. Now, in the spring, once we have the color books and we're mainstream into the shops and the end users are actually starting to consume Shimrin 2, we're going to take that focus off of our customers and train their customers, the end users. The clinics have always been popular. They've always been a great way for us to expand their knowledge because we can go to one spot and see 100 customers in a matter of 4 hours. So it's a great venue. We also have we're going to be doing a lot of videos on our website on training on mixing ratios and how to use Shimrin 2s. There's going to be several publication books coming out that have a lot of Shimrin 2 information in them. Custom Painting Secrets Volume 2 will be coming out, and that'll be very focused on Shimrin 2s. There's a lot of companies such as like Coast Airbrush that have developed what they're calling Coast TV, and they're doing a lot of good artist videos showing how to use Shimrin 2 in artwork and fine art and stuff like that. So there's a lot of resources out there.
What are the can sizes, quantities available in Shimrin 2?
The can sizes, the unique thing about Shimrin 2 is that it's basically a two-component design. The carrier bases are the color component of the system. They are 3/4 full. The effects, we have 40 different effects. They're all in half pints. So all the consumer does is when they purchase their House of Color, they get back to their shop. Obviously, they shake the product and they simply pour the effect pack into the short fill quart of carrier base. There they have a full quart, reduce it 2-to-1, spray just like House of Color. With House of Color, if it says Shimrin, it's always been reduced 2-to-1. Carrying that forward, if it says Shimrin 2, it's reduced 2-to-1.
What does Shimrin mean?
Well, let's just take the camera and you might want to scan up there, and that's what Shimmer's all about. The colors pop off the board, the color change effects, the depth of the color.
What about cost?
The cost ranges anywhere from right around $70 a quart up to about average about $120 a quart. House of Color is not only the best product for custom painting, but with Shimrin 2, it is slightly more expensive than our current Shimrin, but the technology is well worth the money, and it's still very economical when compared to other brands.
Well, you do get what you pay for, number one. Number two, this is for the uninitiated who have never painted before and are interested in getting into it. A quart of paint lasts a long time. You're going to get a lot of mileage out of a quart of paint. Am I right?
Especially if you're an airbrush artist, and yeah, you'll get a lot of mileage out of a quart of paint.
Yeah, so if anyone's out there trying to do the calculations, your per job cost is going to be extremely low. Relative cost of this product is very reasonable, I believe very low.
The great thing about Shimrin 2, especially for the airbrush artists, is the fact that in the past, House of Color, every product that we had was a factory pack. So you had hundreds of quarts of different colors. And as an airbrush artist and a consumer, you want a nice big array of colors. So you had to have a lot of inventory on your shelves. The nice thing about Shimrin 2 is the fact that for the first time, we have effects and we have colors, carrier bases. So simply the airbrush artists, all they need is to carry it as their most popular, their most favorite carrier bases and some of their favorite effects. And from those carrier bases and effects, they can create literally hundreds of colors, where before they were limited on what the factory packs were. Obviously, a lot of airbrush artists mixed factory packs together, but this allows total control over color and effect because both the color and the effect are separate components. So it's very, very airbrush friendly.
What is the learning curve?
The learning curve from a standpoint of the old Shimrin, because the biggest thing they have to get over is to mix the color first. Mix their 3-to-1 color, get their effects the way they want them, get their color the way they want it. Once they get their color the way they want it, there's no learning curve. It's the same as the old Shimrin. Like I said before, if it's Shimrin, it's 2-to-1 with RU reducer. It can't get any simpler than that. There's obviously a little learning curve from the airbrush artist because the Shimrin 2 does tend to dry. It is a little faster from a standpoint of the base coat, how fast it cures. So the airbrush, that's the only learning curve that I've noticed from the airbrush artists. Some of them tend to cocktail solvents a little differently to slow it down, but from a standpoint of as soon as they get used to the speed, they're there. Then they just have fun learning how to layer the colors and learn how to make new colors and basically enjoy having no boundaries.
You know, a question I forgot to ask before is how long was Shimrin 2 in development?
Shimrin 2 has been in development for over 3 years. We had the first prototypes of Shimrin 2 roughly 2 years ago. And once we had the color palette to the way we wanted it, we had the loading of the effects the way we needed it, we started a field test team. And that field test team consisted of basically 20 locations throughout the U.S. So we had basically every climate, every atmosphere, from very humid climates to very dry climates. We had South Florida all the way up to Maine, Northern California, Southern California, North Central. And these 20 test teams were made up of some of the top painters, the Craig Frasers, the Mike Lavalleys, the Stephen Van Diemens, the Wet Willies, the Tex McDermotts. I mean, all the big name people that know how to use color, know how to use paint, and put food on their table by doing so. They were part of our field test team, and using the feedback from the field test team, it allowed our research and development team to constantly tweak and reformulate the colors and products until they were perfect for the consumer. We've basically been in testing phase of this field testing for almost 2 years before we brought it to the consumer. So it's thoroughly been beat up by the top people in the field.
That is exhaustive. That really is. Tell me, every year you have, I believe, award-winning booth here at Sema. How's it going this year? I tend to think that the numbers are up. What is your perception of the show?
The show's been great for us. The traffic's been great. One thing that obviously you can see is we've downsized a little bit this year. Basically the same feel is here. We're unveiling outstanding colors. We have some of the top artists in the industry. We have fantastic eye candy to look at in the booth. Although we're the booth is littler, we don't feel like anything's changed.
How is the interest in Shimrin 2 here?
Interest in Shimrin 2 is fantastic. The customers and the consumers have been wanting color documentation for a long, long time, and now that we've got a Shimrin 2 unveiled, and we're going to be unveiling the new color doc here in the spring, early spring, they are ecstatic about where we're going. They can't wait to get their hands on it.
Well, if anyone has doubts, let me tell you, all you have to do is come here and see the amazing color that Shimrin 2 is. I mean, the samples here are just stunning. So anyway, Nick, is there anything else that I might not have covered or that you'd like to say about Shimrin 2 and House of Color?
I just want to thank you for stopping by and showing the world what we have going on here, and always a pleasure to see you, Cliff.
Same here. And again, Shimrin 2 is gaining traction fast. It is one of the most exciting, groundbreaking color lines in the industry. for automotive custom painters.